What is going on, everyone? And today we're back with another video on the 6.7 Powerstroke, and we're actually going to be doing an oil and filter change using Doc's diesel filters. They are the sponsor of this video, so we are going to get into it right now. So on this table we have pretty much everything that we need to do this oil and filter change on the 6.7 Powerstroke. So we're going to start with what tools we need. We're actually going to use a 1 1/4 or a 32 millimeter. The 1 1/4 was actually more snug for me, so that's what I'm going to use, and that uses a 1/2 inch, so I have a 1/2 inch ratchet right here. And then I'm gonna use a 5/8, or you can use a 16th. Like I said, the 5/8 is more snug for me, so that's what I'm gonna use. And that uses a 3/8, and I have a 3/8 ratchet. Now here we have our intake air filter, which is still inside the box. We have our 2 fuel filters back here, and we have our oil filter. And you cannot forget the most important part, which is the oil. We are using 5W40 heavy diesel oil from Doc's directly. And everything here, minus the tools, is all in one kit, and you can actually see it on docsdiesel.com. Or you can click the link down below. That's probably going to be in the description of this video. Without further ado, we're going to get into this. So you're going to want to start by getting yourself something to catch your oil in. So you're going to want to place that directly under the driver's side door, because we're going to be using the first fuel filter and draining it. So here's the filter. First, we're going to start off by twisting off this yellow cap right here to drain the filter. So we're going to go ahead and just let that drain for a little bit, and we're going to start taking off this sensor also. Okay, so like I said, grab your 32 or your 1 1/4. And just start going. So here we have our 6.7 Powerstroke fuel filter housing, the one that's under the driver's side door. And you'll pull out the filter just like that. It's a clip-on press-in. And this one's pretty dirty, as you can see. Comparing it here, the old one versus the new one, obviously you can see there's a big difference. This one was obviously very dirty, and it wasn't time for a swap. So we are putting the new Doc's diesel one in. So you'll see the notch on this side. You'll just stick it in directly right there. And then you want to turn it a little bit so that it sticks inside. So now before we put it on, we do have to replace the O-ring. Just get yourself some type of pick or a flathead. Now that we have that on, we're just going to place our fuel filter back in. Now we're just going to stick our sensor back in. Make sure it clicks, and make sure this is snug, and we should be good. Okay, so now we're going to head for the filter that is under the hood. It is this one right here. This one is actually very easy to take off. You want to just come in here and actually put your fingers on these 2 blue tabs and then push them down just like that, and then you can actually pull this filter off. And then for this second one, you want to push these 2 tabs in on the side, and you can actually do that also by hand. And then just twist your filter off. Literally just turns and then comes straight out like that. So we have our new one here. Just take off these 2 plugs, put it right back in, and stick the hoses right back in. It's super simple. This filter took, not even kidding, no less than 2 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna remove the air box. It's just 4 clips. You're gonna pull them back, up and out. And then we can just pick this out like that. Kind of dirty. Old filter versus new filter. You can see the difference there. Okay, so we do have the air filter in. Now we're gonna do the oil change and the oil filter, which is the last thing on our list. We already did both fuel filters. We did our air filter. They unfortunately did not send me a cabin filter, but that is okay. We still got all the other stuff done, which is primarily the maintenance that I care about. So grab yourself a 16 or a 5/8, and you're gonna wanna come down here to your drain plug. Oh. I almost didn't get that right. But we are draining the oil, which is good. We're gonna put this drain plug down for now. Okay, so I was looking for a filter wrench, which is probably the best tool that you could use for this, but I did not have one, so I smacked it with a screwdriver and turned it, and now I'm just letting it drain, but we are able to pull it off by hand now. So we have our new oil filter here. I am gonna pre-fill it with some oil before I put it on the truck. That's just how I like to do things. Okay, so we pretty much got her filled to the top. Now we're just gonna put it back in under the truck. Okay, so now we're actually gonna fill it with oil. We are using the Doc's Diesel Heavy Duty Oil 5W40 for this truck. And these 6.7 Powerstrokes take anywhere from 13 to 15 quarts, it says on the internet. I already filled up the oil filter, so I'm gonna put in these 12 quarts and then I'm gonna check the oil level and kind of eyeball it. Okay, now that we've done everything, fuel filters, oil filter, air filter, you're gonna wanna jump in the truck and cycle the key a few times. That way you get some fuel into your system and it'll start right up. The filter that's on the bottom, make sure you tighten it all the way. And then if the sensor won't go back in, give it one little crank back. It wouldn't start just now because it was getting a tiny bit of air. You have to make sure it's completely tight, the one that's on the bottom. Now we're gonna check the oil. It's about a little under halfway with 12 quarts and filling the oil filter beforehand. I'm personally just gonna add a little bit more because I wanna fill it up to the top, but 13 quarts was about right. Thank you guys for watching. This was a 6.7 Powerstroke, how to do an oil filter and fuel filter change. Thank you again to Doc's Diesel for sponsoring this video and sending me these parts. I really appreciate that. Hopefully we can work together more in the future. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think.